A very good evening and welcome to Saturday Night Footy. James Kelly and family extended, I might add. Game 250 for him, the 13th cat to reach such a milestone. Debuted in the same year as Stevie J back in 2002 and has been a great player for the Cats, whether it's down back, whether it's on ball. He has just done his job in a very, very good fashion indeed. North Melbourne, on the other hand, have a 4-1 record in 2014 against teams currently in the top 5. Work that out. The only loss was to Geelong in round 10 down at the home of the Cats. Luke Darcy and Matthew Richardson.
Yeah, really looking forward to this one tonight, BT. It's got an enormous amount riding on it in terms of where the finals hopes of both these sides lie. This is a North Melbourne team that's, Richo, been capable of beating 4 of the top 5 sides. They've had brilliant wins. Sydney at home at the SCG, they knocked off. They were the first team to beat Port Adelaide. They are capable of playing brilliant football. They're 6 on the ladder, but they're also capable of having a shocker, so we'll be interested to see what they deliver tonight.
Yeah, they mentally seem to be able to come up against the good teams, and that's what the Cats have been for so long now, and I reckon they're a strengthened team. I love the way Christensen plays. He's a talented player, been out for a long time this year, with guys like Motlop, Stokes and Christensen rolling through that high half forward. Tough team to beat.
Can't wait to see this man in action tonight. He has not missed a game this season. He is the man that's going to make it work for the Cats, and we look forward to that on the other side of the break. And as he's a handful. Hawkins around the body with a clean snap. Kicks his 3rd goal.
It got there and so did Hawkins, but it's a goal.
Looks really good. What a response from Tom Hawkins. Hawkins building it forward, building it forward. Icing on the cake. They've done it again, the Cats. In the top 4 tonight.
Welcome back to Saturday Night Footy. It's time for the Gillette Precision Player Tracker. And I'm looking at both teams here who want to play a similar style of footy. You can see Ferrito there looking in the corridor. It's that kick there that makes North Melbourne so dangerous. As soon as that handball received by Ryan Bastanak, they are wide open, and we speed it up there, and Todd Goldstein gets the mark and kicks the goal. Same there, Geelong looking for that kick into the middle. Look at that space once that kick is used. James Kelly, long and direct. We speed it up, and Joel Selwood finishes with a goal. It's all going to come down to which team can own that part of the ground. Who can do it better and who can stop the other team doing it effectively. That will decide tonight's game.
Michael, Andrew, mate. Good to see you, mate. James, like, mate. So it's North's home game, your call, mate. Thanks, James. Is this beautiful? Thanks, boys.
James Kelly in there for game 250. Jordan Bannister, the umpire, very polite in the middle there. Nice to see from those gentlemen. This mob here, not this mob, but the other mob, North Melbourne, are the only side to have defeated Geelong at this venue, Das, since 2012. They're hard to get a handle on, aren't they?
They're hard to beat anywhere, Geelong. They've got a remarkable record. Joel Selwood, we're seeing there issuing his final instructions. He's virtually won 80% of the games that he's played in his entire career, which is almost beyond belief. So it'll be a challenge. The Cats have won 6 of their past 7. But North Melbourne, they rise to these occasions, Richo. They trained down at Geelong a lot in the pre-season. They know this team really well. And I just get the feeling their form line suggests they're going to be right on their game tonight.
Well, it does, and all year that's what the form does suggest. But the fact is, in the last month, this Geelong defence has been the best in the competition. Can North Melbourne find a way through? So they're going to need their forwards on song tonight, but more importantly, they need their midfielders to kick some goals, I reckon, tonight. You can't rely on your forwards marking against this Geelong team. They need their midfield to get in and kick some goals running through the 50, something I don't think they've been that good at.
Yeah, it's a really good point you make. Nick Dalsano, interestingly, starting on the bench, but the outside run is a bit of a challenge for them, BT. They need Boomer Harvey at his best, as always.
They do indeed. That man there, Stevie Motlop, I watched him in the warm-up. I saw him kick 10 consecutive barrels from outside 50, and 9 of them went through the goals at half-goal post height. I'm hoping we get a look at a barrel from Stevie Motlop tonight.
There's nothing that he can't do, Stevie Motlop. He's an excitement machine, and he's right back to his best now after some injuries earlier in the year, and it's good to see Christensen there back into the team. We know how talented he is also.
Looking to make it 5 wins in a row here, Geelong.
But Harvey's just lined up at centre half back to see if he can free himself up here at the first bounce.
All right, big game. Good crowd in the house here tonight. Blitzarves back in the side for the Cats. Immediately Caddy with the clearance down to the middle off the half-back line. Taylor and now Johnson. Nice little board back inside. Duncan, one of their important midfielders. Here is Caddy.
He started in the centre bounce, Caddy with Guthrie and Selwood.
Yeah. Caddy goes inside. Good spot, but North understanding where the ball was most likely to go. Thomas did some good work in there. Too high.
Just getting a look at Christensen there, Lingy. We take check of the replay. Fairly soft one, maybe some high contact. Does he put on some weight, Lingy? Looks like he's really thickened up across the chest and the shoulders.
Well, he has had that bit of time out, Darcy, and you're right, he certainly looks bigger. That'd be great for him because he needs to be able to hold his body, his body in the contest to lift his game to the next level.
Christensen from directly in front. Just the inside of the post. And is he just doing the old
heart palpitations there? I don't know.
know.
Yes, he's maybe caught one. He looked a bit sore.
Having a minor attack. Mackie. Blitzarves couldn't get on the end of it. Christensen again. Duncan almost connected with that one there. Blitzarves in there, North having a crack. Finally found some space, but handball went straight to Mackie. Thompson's back. Needs a good bounce here, or they'll close on him. He's able to tidy things up nicely. Kick wide. Bartel in front of Hansen. Did well to get a fist there, Hansen.
Just an unusual response, wasn't it? Christensen hit the post and had his hand on his heart. Maybe it was
just trying to guide it through.
An involuntary action, that one.
Unusual. Better not draw any conclusions just yet. Harvey. Swallow met front on. In a cracking bump. Guthrie, though, away from Goldstein with a bullet. It's a little too strong.
Still down, Andrew Swallow.
That was a big hit.
Just winded there.
Let's hope it wasn't, just the wind taken out of his sails.
Take him a couple of minutes to get some wind back there. That was a strong
He's
hit.
gulping like a fish out of water there, Richo.
Horrible feeling, that, isn't it?
Terrible. I think you're going to die.
Gee, Guthrie's on.
Enright sneaks down, has a little trim at it.
Keep watching Harvey.
And still just trying to suck a bit of oxygen in. It's been down just a bit too long for the stock standard winded there, I reckon.
I hope it's not ribs. That's the...
It looked like his elbow got pushed into his ribs, didn't it? So let's hope he's okay.
So doctor's still with him now, and he's a little uncertain himself. You can see it in his eyes there, so maybe a little more serious than we think.
Yeah, it's a good point you make, Richo. Sometimes you can spear yourself with your own elbow and do some damage around the kidney region. Let's hope that's not the case.
Matt Jack Dorr, almost. Guthrie with the don't argue. Caddy. Johnson took him on. Goldstein appealing with his eyes to the umpire as if to say, come on. Greenwood got it out wide. Through the middle now runs Harvey. Harvey, point of the square, bounce, thought about the handball on the outside. Thomas probably should have given it, he didn't. Left foot around the corner, his teammate has a little word to him in Greenwood.
Yeah, good sign, though. Some really good transition there.
Just wanted to replay this tackle of Todd Goldstein on Stevie J. That is a great sign that North Melbourne has switched on when your ruckman can nail Stevie J like that.
Bartel drive down the line. Duncan from 4 deep. Thompson at the back there. Del Sano looking for a little up and under to himself there. So Swallow being assessed on the bench now at least, and Brad Scott just trying to find out what the exact diagnosis is there. So he'll just recover there. He takes a seat on the bench. I know you can't see that now, but I can, and he'll give it a go. Selwood got met high.
Too long. Mark there, hold there.
Stevie J went very, very early. Did get on the end of it in the end.
Mark's there, Ben.
With the lead.
Play on.
He does just that.
Still, mate. Yep,
Long ball. Christensen there. So it was Kirsten who got a hand on it.
It's been good, Kirsten, hasn't he? 5 games, 9 goals. So it's just been a good foil for Tommy Hawkins. Don't have to rely on him to be the main target every time they go inside 50. He's been a good inclusion in the last month.
Caddy seems to have touched it at every stoppage so far. And there's Duncan, one of his mates that's there as well, left foot snap. So peppering that end at the moment of the Cats. A lot of work going into Zeeble at the moment, trying to release him off Selwood.
Hey, Lingy, it's a sign of the strength of Geelong where they can start with Guthrie and Caddy in the middle and not the usual suspects.
Yeah, absolutely, Richo. It's something they've tried to do this year is get more centre bounce time and more midfield time into those players. And Guthrie's been terrific, and Caddy, they love his attack on the footy. You saw that from that last stoppage. Just a bull when he goes through to the contest. Gets forces players to get out of his way in a hurry.
Goldstein. Dawson Simpson there, you can see on the mark. Late inclusion for Hamish McIntosh. Late withdrawal. Petrie got high, couldn't hang on. Black tried to crash his way through, went without it. Del Sano. The Cats immediately wide. There is big Dawson Simpson, the man that replaced Hamish McIntosh. Coughed up the handball, just tries to barge his way out, but Big Goldie says, no, you don't. Greenwood, fortuitous kick in the direction of Petrie there, but Taylor did well when he was in the compromised position. Mackie, Taylor, Majak Dore. Saw Majak in the warm-up doing a lot of ruck work as well. There is Swallow. Looks a little brighter and better in himself. Adams in the green vest sitting alongside him has made no effort to warm up yet, so that's a good sign for Swallow. Hanson, Cunnington, Ferrito, all involved with the handballs there. Goldstein just sends it to the hot spot. Majak Dore here. Blitzarves goes back over the back. Petrie invites Levi Greenwood to run into the open goal. The first on the game.
Here's the ball going into the danger zone, and great work by Blitzarves to get back there and try and help out, but you have to kill the ball, and that was the worst possible place for the football to spill. You've got to try and make strong contact and get it out of that area.
Only 7.5 minutes in, BT, and you can tell sitting here North Melbourne are on.
There's Swallow, he's back out there, and the signs are good, Das, I agree. 6th consecutive game in which North Melbourne have kicked the opening goal of the game. There's been 3 wins and 3 losses in that. There's another tackle.
No, you had one up here, mate. Just let it go. It's got to be holding the ball, John.
Goldstein nails Stevie J with a tackle. Zeeble goes hard and pins Joel Selwood. They're the signs that a side has come here really with the right attitude.
Zeeble chipping ball. Majak Dore can run up this. He got nudged under the ball ever so slightly. Enright helps it through. There's the tackle on Joel Selwood.
Just pinned his arms beautifully there. Nothing Joel could do other than drop the footy out. Great tackle.
Not sure how he could argue that with umpire Jordan Bannister, who just explained it very nicely to him.
He might have thought he didn't have any opportunity to get rid of it.
Goldstein to Greenwood again, this time across the face of the goals.
Greenwood is on fire here. He's had 7 disposals already.
So too Goldstein as well, Richo. He's had 4 possessions. He's giving Dawson Simpson a lot to think about in this early part of the game.
So Murdoch, the first real slow play of the game. Going wide, looking for Motlop. He did real well with the body against Mullet.
Hands in the back. Hands in the back. Hands in the back. Yeah, 2 hands in his back. Hands in his back. Play on.
So Jordan Bannister just explaining once again to Stevie Motlop what he did wrong. Here's Black in front, couldn't hold the mark. Straight through big Dorso Simpson, but not through the Goldsteiner. Got the handball off to right. Bastanak was sandwiched in the middle. Now the Cats have got some numbers. Simpson under pressure. Murdoch gave it to another man in Taylor under pressure. He's on fire, Goldstein, around the corner. That must have been touched, was it?
I think it might have hit the post.
Okay.
He's on fire.
Yeah.
So he's on track to play the best game he's ever played by a mile. 6 possessions, he's in everything.
His form's been on the up, Das, in the last few weeks.
Rivers. Hanson just trying to track the difficult bounce. Now just as the Cunnington goes down the line. Here comes Black over the top of Bartel. Majak Dore was there as well. Like the way he's flying for the marks. Hasn't brought one down yet, but he's having a crack. Rivers now. Cool at half-back. High ball, look at the numbers here, Dast. 4 on 2 in favour of the Roos.
Yeah, their setup's really good at the moment too. They're getting back in numbers. They're running really hard forward. They've got the bulk of possession as well to start the game. It's been a really good start.
Can they build some scoreboard pressure to go with this fast start? Long footy, Simpson in great spot. Goldstein too nimble. Little one across the face, misses.
Gee, that was a good handball received that Ferrito got on the wing. It just opened everything up and it gave Goldstein the one-out opportunity. Gee, I love it when you get handball receives in that position of the ground. Gives the defenders not much chance.
Look at those numbers from Goldstein. 7 disposals. He's had 6 contested possessions. And you know what I love? He's actually worked out. He's on fire and he's taking Dawson Simpson to full back where he'll be really, really nervous.
Free kick down here.
Free kick down the field. So Lingy would... So Geelong would understand, Lingy, that they're under enormous pressure. What do you think they're trying to achieve at the moment?
Well, I think they're trying to get the game back on their terms, but credit to North Melbourne. What they're doing is they're the ones playing fast tempo footy and they're slowing Geelong down again. North Melbourne wanting to use the corridor. Good pressure by the Cats though now.
Great signs there from Swallow. He's recovered. Harvey under pressure. Only had that option and he went with it nicely and found Atley. Short ball to Hanson. The give and go back. Atley involved with the run and carry. This kick's got to be good, and it is to Bastanak. Ryan Bastanak, short ball, Atley's third touch in this passage of play. North up the other side of the ground very nicely. Gibson goes the finishing kick to Cunnington. Selwood did well, got a little knock on it. Varco through a bit of traffic. Can they get him on the counter, or are they a little bit iffy and uncertain of themselves at the moment?
See, that's the kick right there when Geelong's at their best. They're able to hit that, open up the corridor. North Melbourne, no doubt, have got a big focus on stopping that one. Well done by Brent Harvey there.
Disposals 52-38 there at the moment in favour of the Roos. But the scoreboard is only a 7-point margin in favour of the Roos right now. Just the one goal kicked. Fighting for it here, right. Bartel kept it alive. Guthrie was clever to Stokes. Just went with the one-handed pick up there, Stokes. Don't think that'll get it done tonight. Varco drags it across the face.
Come on, get on with it.
Oh, heat going on there, Stevie J and Scotty Thompson. We won't come back and have a look at that. Look at Stevie J. He's saying, mate, it's disgraceful what you just did. We'll have a look at the replay shortly. So they're not happy.
Just a knee into the guts there. Accidental one, I might add. I think he was actually pulled down into Thompson then. So
just a little bit of byplay there. And
in the meantime, Caddy has ended up with a footy and he lines up for goal. Only from 35 metres out, very slight angle, and he's made a mess of that.
I think Stevie might have been suggesting, there's no doubt he was putting a bit of weight onto Scotty Thompson, and then when Scotty made a bit of it, I think he was suggesting that he was overacting that a bit, Richo.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of acting in that. Both players were enjoying the byplay there.
Play on.
Atley again says to Drew Petrie, come at me. Jukes overhead, couldn't quite hold it. Lonigan did well without infringing. He threw that, and umpire Roseberry in perfect position.
Hold there, Tom. I'm ready.
Umpires tonight, Luke Farmer, Jordan Bannister and Brett Roseberry. 3 of the very best in control of this big game. Blitzar's got an opportunity to jump. Thomas is there as well. He's claiming the mark. He said he got first touch. James Kelly didn't give him a chance to argue. Let's have a look.
Thank you.
See if he got the hand there before Blitzar's. No, he didn't. So I don't know why he gets upset about things like that when he would have known that he didn't have first hands on that.
Oh, but you always try and claim them, BT.
Go through.
Surely.
Come on, guys. Stand up.
Oh, don't you?
Don't look at me like that, Richo.
Even if you know you haven't touched it, you try and con the umpire into thinking you did.
Swallow. High tackle.
Your arms around his neck.
And he's just within range.
Joel, 1 metre.
Well, I think you summed it up, BT. They need some scoreboard benefit for their absolute dominance, and this has been handed off to Boomer Harvey.
And Harvey just goes like that. It's so easy. North second in a row.
Well, when you get Boomer Harvey coming from behind the football like he is, he's starting at half-back. He loves running towards goal with the football, and here's the new promotion here from North Melbourne, trying to get a bit of noise going.
Bit of boom, boom, boomer Harvey, Richo. You like it or not?
Bit of boom, boom, shake the room. Who was that? Jazzy Jeff or something? And Fresh Prince, I don't know.
Send a tweet through if you can help Richo out on that. That's not my...
you don't want him running from behind the footy and getting a handball received there. Boomer Harvey, he's so damaging.
It's like it's all going North's way at the moment. Everything that they could hope to have set up with the start of the night is all working beautifully for them.
So Blitzarves now here, and for the second go at it, said I'll get it a third time, and his athleticism just mungles it forward, but that's better than nothing. Hawkins in the vicinity, and well done, Hansen.
That's what he does best. Hansen, intercept mark in the back 50.
Gibson. See the crowd in the background. Really good one here on that outside tonight. Harvey, fast, really, really good hands.
You know what I love about that is that there's some real intent to try and take the game on, penetrate through the middle of the ground. We saw Atley before, just real play on, take a risk through the middle part of the ground. They look really dangerous with this sort of run.
Thompson off half-back. Little chipping ball to Levi Greenwood. Greenwood in the path of Zeeble. He marks, he wanted to go to McDonald, but he wheels around on the right boot. He's got a really good leg. High footy to the square, off hands.
Just not hesitating when they get that football 50 to 70 metres out. They're just getting it in there. They're putting the Geelong defenders under a heap of pressure.
So 8 minutes to play. Goes wide. Blitzarves the game, the target. In comes Murdoch. Petrie with a big tackle. Enright committed the body and got in and under it. Didn't help them win the actual footy out of this contest. Now Motlop. Need to just steady here momentarily, the Cats. Selwood, if they can get it in the hands of this man and this man here.
Got nothing to go to at the moment, because they've rolled everyone back.
He got another little whack in the guts there, Stevie J, and he stopped momentarily thinking the umpire was going to blow the whistle.
Fair grab from Luke McDonald there.
He's been good, hasn't he, in his first year?
Great player.
Zeeble out the corner of the eye to Greenwood. He goes inside 50, and Black. And Stevie J copped a little whack in the guts there, I reckon.
Well, the pressure from North's outstanding as we have a look at what you're talking about there. Just a little bit of breadbasket.
Just an attempt to tackle, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't anything untoward in it. But Geelong had got numbers back because they're under pressure and they're just trying to stem the flow. And when they won the football there at half back, Selwood and Johnson just had nothing to go to.
So Black, 20 goals for the season. That one he's led down to the right and short on the distance as well. Zarves helps it through.
Play on.
Mackie looking to run and create something.
On, Jack.
Enright realised that downfield the numbers weren't right to continue.
And he's just made the decision, BT, I reckon, just to take a little bit of pace off the game, a little bit of possession. You guys have said that North Melbourne are playing on at every opportunity. The game's certainly on their terms. Corey Enright, just the experienced head, saying, let's cool it down a little bit.
Here's Enright to Mackie. Mackie through centre half back. Murdoch, nice handball back inside. Opens them up. Stokes, beautiful kick. Bartel led strongly. Guthrie's kick was a little low. He just needed a little bit of loop in the footy then to Lonergan. He didn't need the ball at Lonergan. He had his man beaten on the lead.
Got some help for you, Richo. Will Dennis has sent the tweet through. It's Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah, that was
boom,
it.
Boom, shake the roof.
Yeah, shake the roof, was it? All right. Room. Boom, boom, shake the room.
Motlop turning Thompson around, got the kick into a dangerous spot, kept it alive here. Kirsten in front of his man. Trying to take it away on that occasion. Jacobs, little kick around the body. And Duncan's nailed it. First for the Cats.
Sure, mate. Yep. Score review. Umpire's call is a goal. We just like to make sure it didn't hit the post.
Going to be a hard one to overrule that one, isn't it? We take a look at the score review here.
Really hard to. Can't overrule that. That'll be a goal.
Surely the umpire, he's got the best seat in the house.
Review complete. Confirm goal.
Confirm goal.
He's 3 metres from the footy. Injured Roo there. Daniel Wells, the boy from Mandurah in Western Australia. I'll try and catch up with him later on tonight, perhaps at half-time.
Geez, they missed that outside run and class that he has provided for a long time, Daniel Wells.
He's very dangerous. If he were in the side now, Greenwood doing well, did it alone, but sprayed it across the face, but he was under pressure.
See, that's the only thing about this quarter for North Melbourne. They've been outstanding, but you can see the scoreline there, 2 goals, 7. They haven't taken their chances, and we know Geelong will come. We know them. They'll get momentum in this game. North have got to start taking their chances.
What's your read on the Cats at the moment, Das? I mean, it's hard to get a read on their form. Of their past 7 opponents, Essendon is the only one that's presently in the 8. So how do you judge them?
It's almost so, BT, they're playing well in patches, doing enough. They win the close games. And I don't think they're in great form, but we know what they're like when it gets to the finals time of the year. They just lift and they find a way. There's ebbs and flows in the season. They're not playing great footy, but they keep winning, Richard.
Well, they've beaten. They can only beat who they've played in the last 7 weeks. They haven't played top 8 sides, but I don't think they're in their best form, but they're still winning. And we know when they get to the finals, you can't ever write Geelong off.
Yeah, and they only lost 1, and that was to Gold Coast up at Metricon. We were there for that game. In that last 7-week period, here's Caddy to Johnson. Cross to Mackie. Didn't get there. Needs some ground level support. Thomasoni in on this. Thought about it. Went with a long handball. Heard Zeeble. Zeeble needs to run at the foot. He does, but Caddy was all over him. And careful not to drive him forward in the tackle.
Interesting to read today, Jack Zeeble, I think, has sought Michael Voss out for a bit of advice. Just a bit winded there too, Jack, on umpire doing the right thing to just clear this one out a little bit. I reckon that's a great idea. Michael Voss is absolute superstar and champion, and if he can base his game a bit on the way Michael Voss attacked the ball, I'm sure that's going to help.
Well, no midfielder attacked the ball harder in the last 20 years than Michael Voss, surely.
Just winded there. I know the player was in the way, but the umpire stopping the game there to allow him to recover.
What are you suggesting? They should have just balled it up?
Well, I'm not sure if the player's winded, and I guess it's hard for the umpire to make the diagnosis, isn't it? But he'll probably just move it along until otherwise notified. That's harsh, I would have thought. Here's Blitzarves, the endurance champion of the world. Probably would have been at the Com Games if he weren't here. Kirsten, handball to Bartel. Kept it alive. Motlop looking for the scoop. The initial tackle was just a touch high, but not high enough to warrant a whistle.
This is what they're brilliant at, Geelong. They haven't played well, they haven't started well. North Melbourne have. And yet the scoreboard shows only a 9-point margin. They hang in there, and then they just grind you down. 16 tackles for the Roos here in the first quarter. Christensen blazes away without success. The brothers tonight, 3-2 record, these two. Over the period, Chris Scott leading in that count, 3-2. So Brad a chance to level that up tonight. Blitzarve strong in the air. Got Mackie at the back if he wants. No obvious option forward, so he goes sideways to Mackie. 2:41 remaining in the first quarter, so done well to absorb a lot of North Melbourne pressure here, the Cats. Harry Taylor with a monster ball forward from inside the centre square, just fell short.
And this is exactly what they do, BT. They just keep staying in the game, but they have been opened up a little bit through the corridor at times in this quarter. They want to fix that up at quarter time. The Cats still well and truly in this.
They are indeed. Really fast-moving footy they've got. Here's Harvey, takes on Mackie. Harvey and Mackie, two very experienced operators.
Oh, great contest.
One-on-one under pressure it was, Richo.
Yeah, massive win for Mackie.
Taylor. Selwood copping a stirring ovation out there. Not of the positive kind. Fitzarms into the middle. This is a better build-up from the Cats. Guthrie. Backup support is there. Well done, Murdoch. Strong run. Motlop just read it better, but he dropped it. Recovery is good. The little inside outer is better. As you say, just a little party trick here from Motlop Darson. I seem to remember a couple of weeks ago against the Bombers, a few little party tricks getting the job done that night as well.
Yeah, 2 late goals in that game were just brilliant.
Back in the middle, so Geelong have done really well to get this back to a 2-point margin because North have been all over them. Varco out the back door to gentleman James Kelly in game 250. Hanson read it well again. That's not 15, surely. Thompson thought about the sideways, instead goes with a bit of a gyrocopter spinning thing to Greenwood that he found difficult to handle. Taylor poking out the handball to Stokes. Nice one over the top to Motlop. He's got a bit of space and time. Can go the runner of Guthrie. Instead went the kick to Hawkins. Really well done by Hanson to get a fist there.
That was almost a goal-saving fingernail that he got in there, Lockie Hanson. Hawkins had him out the back. The Cats had runners. He started the game really well, Lockie Hanson.
Yeah, a great deal of skill from Stokes to get that ball into Enright there. It was risky. Enright, no option other than just to kick it deep. Caddy got in the middle of a nest of players there, and little left foot kick around the corner, beautifully picked up. Christensen fast to Motlop. Motlop shows some foot candy. Magnificent stuff. And finishes nicely for 2 in a row and 3 in a row for the Cats.
Gee, well done, Caddy. Took the mark and just wheeled and went. He didn't hit a target, but
Hang
it was
on, I
fast
think
footy.
the players are saying it hit the post here.
Well, I thought it did, BT. On first glance, my initial reaction was that it did hit the post. So
Frito pointing to the umpires and saying, come on, guys, that hit the post.
Well, they do review every goal that goes through, so they have the ability to call this back.
Oh, now.
How can you be conclusive, though?
Well, you did look to deviate a little there, Richo. I
looks
reckon
like it
that's
comes
hit.
off the post, I reckon.
Nah, I reckon that
It's hard to tell, but
They're looking at it. Jordan Bannister getting some talk in his ears now. So here we go. The official reviewers there. We were told that they will review everyone that comes back to the middle.
that angle looks like a deviation. It looks like a nick.
Lingy, what do you think from there?
I think that angle there looks like a definite
Lukey, you're
deviation.
going to go down, Lukey.
I'm going to call that a hit the post.
Yep. Well, they've decided to withdraw the goal, take it back to the goal square. Let's have a listen to the umpire.
All clear.
All clear, one behind signalled, scores are changed.
Well, there you go. That's the score review in action. 9 seconds to go in the first quarter. That might be a fairly big moment in the game when it comes down to the end of this match.
Play on.
I'd like another look at it.
It is interesting, Richo, that you couldn't see the deviation. The umpire up there could.
Yeah.
And so how was one right and how was one wrong? It's interesting.
I'm probably wrong, but...
Well, no, I sort of agree with you.
Yeah, it was hard to be conclusive on it, to overrule.
Let's have one more look before we go to the quarter-time break. Can you tell whether that's hit the post? It certainly gives the optical illusion that it did.
Yeah.
It feels like it was a nick.
Yeah.
But 100% sure that's the challenge.
Quarter-time scores here. North Melbourne by 1 point over the Cats.
The quarter-time break, brought to you by Carlton Draft.
So let's have another look at that. Did it hit the post? What do you think? Conclusively hit the post or not? Lingy says yes. Richo says no. Dust? You decide, please.
I think it just nicked it, and I would have overturned it. Getting lots of tweets coming through, Richo.
To overturn it, though, it has to be conclusive, and I'm not conclusive. That was my opinion.
Scott Pendlebury on Twitter says 100% hit the post, says Pendles. And I know that Lingy's down there in amongst that huddle there somewhere, as we might just pull you away for a sec if we can, Lingy. What are your thoughts?
Well, first and foremost, I do believe it did hit the post, BT. Fairly conclusive for my eyes. Just watching Brad Scott now talking to his players. Still fairly calm. I'm sure he'd be pleased with the way they started that quarter. Their intensity around the ball, ability to win the ball in the contest, their ability to tackle and pressure Geelong was first class. And then the thing I loved the most was their willingness to play on. Every opportunity they could, they got the handball received, the players running from behind. They just turned and went, and they created some scoring opportunities that way. The big thing was they didn't capitalise on their opportunities. They kicked 2 goals, 7 in that quarter. You can't leave the door open against a team like Geelong because they're just too good at what they do. And as Scotty comes towards me now, Scotty, we're just talking about the intent around the ball was really good, but maybe just a few wasted opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, 17 or 18 inside 50s, and we haven't got value for those. So we've just altered a couple of things with the way we take the ball forward, and hopefully we get better value.
Todd Goldstein's been really important. Must have been pleased with his first quarter.
Yeah, his intent's been terrific. He's got to keep that up now. He started well last game as well, but he's got to make sure he plays 4 quarters for us.
Thanks for your time, Scotty.
The big thing there, 17 inside 50s. You don't get that against Geelong very often. They've only been conceding about 45 a game in the last month, so that's a massive positive, but you've got to score from those, and Geelong have had 14 as well, so that says a lot about the game. It's a fast, quick game. I reckon both teams would just like to be able to hold up the opposition a little bit more at this stage, Das.
Yeah, I think the clearances kept Geelong in it. They were 10-5 for overall clearances, so that's something that the Kangaroos can try and arrest, but I love the way they attacked it. I thought their intensity was really strong, North Melbourne.
Dawson Simpson here in the ruck against Goldstein. For those that have just joined us, Hamish McIntosh, a late withdrawal out of the Geelong line-up against his old side. Right handball out the back, gobbled up by Motlop. Stevie J just trying to go straight through the middle, brushed one tackle. Smother of the ball. Del Santo really, really lightning hands McDonald to Goldstein. Was that a throw or a handball? And that's a high one. Almost called play on there, Jordan Bannister. Didn't actually come out of his mouth, but the hand signal suggested it was. Not such a good kick. Del Santo, nice to Mullet. Little left foot floater with a bit of air. Was the right kick. And now Gibson. So intriguing first quarter where North really dominated the feel of the game without hurting Geelong so much on the scoreboard. And Geelong, with a couple of late opportunities to finish the quarter, got themselves back into it on the scoreboard. Bartel and Christensen combined. Duncan. Selwood had to go back and get it. Dawson Simpson to Christensen. Motlop wanted it, didn't get it. Top of the square, a hold there, and I think it'll go to Hawkins against Thompson.
You heard the umpire on that occasion say the jumper grab, and that is always a real clear thing they can pick up. You saw it. Umpire in a good position, had hold of the jumper, always a free kick.
Yeah, he was in perfect position, and yeah, definite free kick. That's what happens when you play on a bloke this size, Hawkins. You panic and start holding.
Hawkins directly in front, no more than 15 metres out, will kick a certain goal. He nails it. Geelong now in front. 3 consecutive goals for the Cats here to hit the front. They were in front in the initial part of the game when they missed a couple of opportunities very, very early. Simpson, Del Santo on the end of it. That's about all he could do was get it around the corner to the advantage of North Melbourne. Zeeble now over the top of the foot. He just mongrels it and gains some yards here. Sets a task for McDonald. Bumped down to the way by Johnson. Mackey's handball. Put Stevie J under a little bit of pressure. Guthrie couldn't quite glove the footy. Through the traffic, Greenwood. Varco backed into it. Del Santo caught with the footy here by Guthrie. Spills loose in the tackle. Cunnington to Thomas, came straight at it, Thomas. Should have given the handball again. He had two players out wide and he refused to give it.
Yeah, and he's getting a nice bake from his teammate, and so he should. His initial play was absolutely brilliant, but he had McDonald out, and that's just a little bit selfish.
And here's Motlop on the counter. Got Bartel if he wants. Went back over the top to Mackie. He's a beautiful kick. Here's Hawkins on the lead. Went wide to Varco. He's come all the way from the back line, Varco. Almost out of juice. Atley caught with the booty. Had the awareness to get rid of it. So North out of trouble. That's twice for Thomas. That has not given when he probably should have. Selwood, I guess he sees himself as the goal kicker. Thus, he's got to score.
Yeah, I think your instinct to give has got to be there, and that was one that just had to be released.
Motlop thought about that little one around the corner. Just needed another step. Cunnington to Mullet. Mullet wide. Goldstein, Jacobs and Bastanak combining in brilliant fashion off half-back. Over the head of Majak Dor and Taylor. Dropped an easy one in the end. Little sock off the ground by Rivers. North, have they got anyone in front of the footy here? They can give it to Majak if they want. Instead, they go backwards, searching for a bit of time and space. Long handball to McDonald. He's under the pump, but he sees Zeeble. Zeeble's told to go from 55, 60 metres out. High footy. Kelly gets back.
Some of their decision-making, Richo's terrible. They had a short 15, 20-metre lead from Petrie. They ignored again.
And it was the easiest hit-up of all time because Petrie just was leading back towards goal and then just turned around, and they're just the easy 15-metre hit-ups that you should be able to get.
Oh, two brilliant defensive handballs from Bartel and Johnson then.
Let's take a look at Lindsay Thomas. Brilliant play. He gets out, he's clear. He's got a teammate all out on his own in Luke McDonald.
And here's this one. There, look at Petrie. That just a little hit-up to Drew there. He was never going to be able to make the distance.
So now Greenwood into Drew Petrie again. Monaghan did well there. Caddy, Kelly, Christensen finding some run and space, but Hansen will cut this off, although he's under some Selwood pressure now. He turns and sees, but he was cool. Well done. Lockie Hansen to Thompson.
It's a lot easier to see everything from up here, though, isn't it? The pressure in this game today and in all AFL games is elite.
Hansen with the give and go. He just hesitated, and that was enough for Christensen to close. Gee, that's a risky kick. Did really well in front. Really well, Mullet.
Hold there.
That one of Lindsay Thomas, in the old days, they used to say no U-turns. Remember, you weren't allowed to do a U-turn, and that was when there was about 3 team rules for each team. That was one of them.
Oh, come on, Richo. We were a bit smarter than that.
It was kick long, no U-turns.
Harvey, I tell you what, it got the job done, though, that footy.
I don't reckon BT could remember the no U-turn rule.
I never even remembered any rules. Motlop, Mullet again, cool. Thompson had the ball knocked to him. He'll need to get rid of it now. Now Motlop deliberately pinning the ball on him. Umpire sees that. Geelong by just under a goal. Gibson to Swallow, got a heavy knock early. Duncan. As that one dribbles towards the line, we'll throw it in. And covering a lot of territory is that man there.
He's been very important tonight, Stevie Motlop. The other bloke is Alan Christensen. He's had the 14 possessions already. Such a big inclusion for the Cats. And if he can hit the finals in some form, he's certainly going to help lift this team.
There is again, Lee, and the timing's good, isn't it? 4 or 5 games is probably just about perfect.
Yep.
Enough ground time to get him cherry ripe.
Rivers peels off out the back to Kelly.
Back, downfield player.
Who delicately places it around the corner to Varco. Varco looking to draw a player. Just a little bit of a slow play. Duncan's gone. Zeeble did well to close so quickly.
I love watching Jack Zeeble play that way, and you know he's been criticised a bit this year. Hasn't quite found the form that we think he can play, but that's how you start it.
That typical long Zeeble kick. Set it up for Petrie. Black snuck inside 50. Didn't make great contact with the footy.
Yeah, well, Lee spoke to Brad Scott at quarter time. He said, we just need to adjust what we do when we go inside 50, and it hasn't quite worked. 21 inside 50s. They've only kicked 2 goals, so they're just making some basic errors as they get towards the forward half of the ground, North.
Play on.
Love watching this guy play. He's just so... Pressure just doesn't seem to matter to him. He just takes every moment one at a time and deals with it more often than not perfectly. Stevie J's just sneaked onto the ground here, and he's going to end up inside 50 on his own if they can win the footy back. Harvey definitely looking for the give and go here. Didn't get it back, and
Geelong, all right, Geelong, free.
Yep.
that's against Harvey.
Free, keep your arms down. High. Keep your arms down. Get high.
So Brett Harvey there with umpire Rosebery, who, by the way, gentleman James Kelly, 250 tonight, but Rosebery's doing game number 300. Congratulations to him. Here's Duncan. Thought about the snap. The straightening drop punt was a much better option. And there you go. So here we go. The free kick that was paid. Wasn't a lot in it. It was a little way off the football, but I wouldn't say there was an awful lot involved. And Boomer wasn't happy with it. He got him head high though, Richard.
Oh, he's gone again, Boomer.
Too hard for him to contact. Too hard.
So Boomer just lost the plot here a little bit at the moment, and Hawkins has marked it to go with that. Now Thompson believes he had a bit of that. Let's have another listen.
Clear mark. On the full.
I took the mark.
Time back on. Levi, 5 metres. Thank you.
Oh, come on. You can't pay free kicks for that in AFL footy,
No,
surely.
you can't. That's a ridiculous decision.
No, that's not on. Now, that was definitely a mark to Hawkins. Thompson claiming he had a fair purchase on it. If this is what the free kick's for, that is outrageous to me. It's a game of emotion and physicality. You should be allowed to do that.
Oh, he's got it
That was
horribly
certainly what it was for, Richo.
Yeah, he said too hard. Umpire.
Goal number 50 coming up here for Tommy Hawkins. He's kicked 49-28 this year. And he threads that one straight through the eye diddle-diddle.
Prohibited contact. Too late. Nope. What's that? Calm down. Too hard. Prohibited contact. Too hard.
That was absolute nonsense. I don't reckon Luke Farmer had a real good view of it either. Well, he was sort of suggesting something that didn't happen. It was just a little open hand push, and he was sort of saying it was more of an elbow situation. A lot of players around this, so the Cats have kicked the last 5 goals of this game. Christensen to Duncan. Is he within range? I tell you what, this man here will be when he completes the mark.
Yeah, there's Brad Scott's reaction to what's happening at the moment. Well, regardless of how wrong you feel you've been, you have to get your composure back, and that is Boomer Harvey with all his experience now. He's got to turn that around into hard running. He's got to get around to his teammates, because they have just completely dropped off the great start they had.
Oh, they have completely and utterly...
High tackle. We're paying 50 metres, okay? 50 metres. In the goal square, straight in front. No, yours, Joel. Mick. Hey,
They have...
I paid the free, don't get involved. I paid the free. You got the shot on goal.
They have completely and utterly now lost the plot. Another one. That's 6 Geelong goals in a row.
Good look at goalpost Cam there. Oh, he didn't pay for that, did he?
It was against Majak Dor. Ferrito, I think. Yeah, or Majak.
No.
I think it was the first one, Majak. Well, doesn't matter. Geelong have kicked 6 in a row, and they are crumbling here, North Melbourne. And you can tell Brad Scott just wants them to concentrate on the game again and re-engage their focus.
Exactly right, BT. That's their number one thing here. You can see it was Majak Dor just slipped a little bit too high there. They've got to get their concentration back on the game. It's about winning the footy, playing footy the right way, not carrying on with any nonsense now.
Right with a clearing high footy, but I tell you what, Stevie J! Oh, nothing! Thompson! Thomas has gone up.
I hope he's all right.
He's landed at the top of his head. He did a bloody nosedive.
Oh, no.
Oh, gee, was lucky, I reckon.
Unbelievable from Lindsay Thomas. Oh, he was so lucky that he got up from that.
That could have been a disaster. Great news is he's okay, Lindsay Thomas.
Kelly to Selwood. Thank goodness he is okay. Bartel now on a rampage here at the moment. And Kirsten Marks. This for 7 Geelong goals in a row. Oh, that is one heck of a collision. And he landed right on his head and a bit of shoulder with it as well.
Just got enough rotation at the end there to take the pressure off his head, and thank God for that.
He is lucky to walk away from that. The doctor's speaking with him on the bench at the moment as Kirsten lines up. What an action-packed game. Something happening every second of it. He misses.
Just got to get some control of the football here now at North Melbourne from this kick-in. They just haven't been able to get their hands on it at all in the last 5 minutes.
So North will be wanting to just hang on to the footy here and give a chance to just soak up a bit of this pressure and regain their composure.
Well, I hate focusing on the umpires because it's much more about the game and the contest as the Scott brothers look on this one. But you have to feel the umpires have imparted themselves on this contest, and
they didn't need to.
They didn't need to. You know, I think you can actually give the players a warning and say, hey, keep that up, we'll pay one. But
well, that's the common sense approach, I think.
That's the worst collision I've seen for many a year with a player. Lindsay Thomas got himself a free here. And perhaps since Jordan Lewis, that is the worst. Majak Dor is marked and can relieve a little bit of pressure here for North, but just we thank God that Lindsay Thomas could walk away from that one.
Yeah, we sure do. Now it's back over to North Melbourne. They started this game in great style. They played with real intensity. They played on at half-back, real aggression, and then they just lost it for about 15 or 20 minutes. Can they get it back? This is the way to start with Big Majak.
Watch this man closely in the warm-up, kicking for goal as well. Sometimes drops it alongside out his right boot and kicks it right if he's going to miss at all. But pretty good otherwise. Textbook, and he's always going to miss it left when you say that. And Majak does.
Bit of a lull in the crowd too after all of that action.
Just reckon they're drawing breath from what they just saw. I just can't believe that Lindsay Thomas collision with Mother Earth. Have a look at all of the action at half-time. Been some controversial moments in this game, so stay with us as Ferrito in the back half. McDonald forced to go sideways, went with the bullet again. Need a bit of little loop in the footy now. They get going here. Atley, the outside runner. Wanted to bring it back inside, did it well. Thompson fires the handball to Lindsay Thomas around the corner. Brilliant. Black on the lead.
Much better build-up again from North Melbourne. Richo at half-back. When they overlap run and they take them on through the middle of the ground, they've been able to split the Cats open a few times.
Yeah, they have. That was great play. A couple of forward handballs there. Get it to someone like Lindsay Thomas, who's got the ability, and when he's got time like that from that position of the ground, he should be able to hit a target, which he has done. This is a big kick now.
So Black will kick it from right on 50. Looks pretty good. Goal umpire has moved barely, and that is a much-needed one for the Roos.
Well, here's another look at that Lindsay Thomas contest there. So pleasing he's okay, but remarkably hitting up Aaron Black there. He's the one who's kicked the last 2 balls inside 50 to North. It's just incredible that he can bounce back to his feet and join in the game like that. Shows just how tough AFL players are, and in particular Lindsay Thomas.
That bit of vision, I wouldn't mind betting, will go all around the world.
Yeah.
as a lucky escape.
That's one of the things with AFL football now, because it gets scrutinised so highly during the week. The players have never, ever been more courageous, because if you don't happen to go on one occasion, it gets scrutinised all week. So every player now goes when they have to.
And all three committed in that contest. By the way, 35 minutes since they kicked their last goal, North Melbourne. Until black gold a moment ago. Yeah, all three in that contest really went at it. Here's Stokes. Overlap from Mackie. Mackie now looking for Bartel, who gives himself a little bit of a run-up. Over the top, Kirsten. Bartel ran into a big tackle and was met very solidly by a desperate Jacobs.
And that, for me, is what really ignited North Melbourne at the start of this game. There was a couple of massive tackles, Zeeble and Goldstein involved, and just feel like they're getting back to what got them off to a really good start here at the moment.
Selwood with a centering kick into the spot. Three North Melbourne players there, and in the end, none of them were really willing to have a crack at it, as Harvey had to concede. They all looked at each other for a moment there. So 5.5 minutes here, remaining in the half. Geelong by almost 3 goals. Jack, just a little nudge there, too easily moved under the foot. He's got to hold his ground, Rivers, and at least force the contest.
It's a bit of a technique thing, that, from Majak. His front 2 feet are facing forward. It's really easy to get moved off the ball. You've got to back and put your arm up.
And too close together, his feet does.
Yeah, just got to make sure that he doesn't get shifted underneath it, as you said, that easily.
Selwood to Bartel, a little sneaky jab kick. Murdoch, almost. Atley went in, grabbed it one hand, and we'll ball this up.
The inside 50s have dried up for North. Only 6 this quarter, and the coach at quarter time was unhappy they didn't make the most of their 17 in the first quarter.
By Farmer, absolutely falling over. Murdoch and an aggressive tackle by that man that's got the footy on the ground. Greenwood, he tried to kick it while lying on back. Interesting.
Go through. Go through. Go through. Go through.
A lot of instructions in this heavily populated patch of play. Atley took him on. Murdoch's got him. Must be a decision in that. The umpire must have said that he made hand contact with the footy.
Atley has laid down. You can see him there, bottom of your screen.
He hurt his shoulder.
Oh, he's in a bad way, and that is a real blow for North.
Yeah, he has done something, and he, I don't think, will take any further part in this game looking at that. Now, the umpires have held the game up. Let's have a listen.
Just to hit his head in the tackle when it came to ground.
Luke Farmer there.
You guys want a stretcher? You want a minute?
I've got a needed ribs.
Okay, so you're right then? You'll just assist him? Okay.
Okay, so there is protocol from the umpire.
And that's really good umpire. He went, thought he was going to come off from the stretcher, knee to the ribs, and that's a good result. Sean Atley's going to stay out on the ground.
Boy, this game got a bit of everything in it at the moment. And that's a good mark by Selwood. He'll want to go. Stevie Joe runs for him. Jacobs there, didn't watch the footy. Was always going to give away the free.
Didn't look at the ball. Back here, please.
And Stevie J from 40 metres out.
Jump out for us. Drew, that's it. Yep, go to him, that's fine. 15 seconds gone.
Just needed to turn around and have a half a go at the ball, Benny Jacobs, didn't he?
Got there, didn't
actually
he?
in the right spot.
Yeah, he was. So Johnson lines up here. Big goal 3 minutes before the half-time break. Kick will need to bend, and it does not. Falls right on the line. Goldstein trying to get it through. He didn't. Bastanak tried to take it. Blitzarf's had him in the tackle. Hawkins, they've made something out of nothing here, the Cats, and that's out of bounds on the full. Good call by the boundary umpire. Now, Caddy will face the middle of the ground. Out of bounds on the full, wasn't it, Lingy?
I would like to have another look. We'll have a look as after Josh Caddy has a shot here.
And around the corner, that is an absolute ripper from Caddy. Every decision seems to be controversial. Was it above the knee of that North Melbourne player? Oh, boy, hard to see from there, but I'd like to see it again. But
what is the rule, BT, if it's actually off the knee?
Well, I think it's not regarded as a kick.
It's got to be below the knee. I think, Lingy, is the strict interpretation.
Yeah, it's a block.
Well, we had a couple of looks and we weren't sure, so
we're getting a great insight here to the umpires talking to the players and explaining the decisions here tonight. And I've enjoyed the way they've explained the decisions, and I think there's very few they could argue with. Duncan. 23-point Geelong lead. They've had a 5-goal-to-1 quarter here, Geelong. Blitz arms has got Lonigan on wide if he wants. Enright should come at him, but he was trying to clear the space for someone else.
bit of tempo from the Cats here.
Yep.
Normally love to go fast, but happy to just slow it down for a minute.
Madjack making Guthrie earn it there. And now Mackie wanted someone to come at him. And good grab by Harry Taylor, who snuck forward.
Richo, you mentioned that tempo footy that Geelong will play, but what they'll do is we just have another quick look at the off the knee, off the thigh there. So North Melbourne unlucky, but that tempo footy that you were talking about for Geelong, Andrew Mackie, as soon as he saw an opening, they turned tempo, slow, controlled footy into very fast footy and got that one in quick and direct to Harry Taylor, and a good strong grab.
Harry Taylor, Tommy Hawkins saying to Thompson, one more time, mate, and I might just open up. Got absolutely everything this game. Here is Harry Taylor. Little stuttery step there. That is magnificently crafted from the pro Harry Taylor.
They're a brilliant team, this champion Geelong side. You don't see Tommy Hawkins get on the verbal stuff too often, but they are pumped up at the moment. He's just letting fly.
That's great.
Everyone know where he stands.
It is fantastic. Hope you're enjoying it at home, because we are here and so are the crowd, particularly the Geelong supporters at the moment.
Hey, he's normally a fairly quiet, unassuming, goes about his business sort of chap, Tommy Hawkins.
Oh, he's an absolute gentleman, Das, but as you can see, he's doing a bit of directing there. Not quite the same stuff as what he was doing, but having a bit of a chat to Aaron Black. It's a bit out of character for Hawk.
Bastanak through real heavy traffic. Black's got to go the same direction as the footy. So did Lindsay Thomas. This time he tries to set up Greenwood. That is just such a good kick. And that may well be 50, is it? No. He was lucky, Bartel, in the contest, said the umpire. Greenwood will need to kick at 55 here, and I'm not sure he is capable of that. There's 22 seconds left, and it's ticking. It's a huge kick.
Del Santo had 20 metres on Varco then and was ignored. Wasn't happy.
Levi Greenwood to get it back to a 23-point margin. Very close to the man on the mark. Searching for the distance right to the line.
Yeah, he didn't quite get there, BT, and that is always a frustration. You've got to kick the distance if you decide to go from there, Richo. And I've seen a bit of this. North Melbourne players haven't been happy with each other at times.
Yeah, well, there you can see Del Santo on the right of your screen. It would have favoured his foot there, and he wasn't happy.
So a big, big half of football. We have so much to discuss on the other side of it. Geelong lead it by 28 points.
Halftime, brought to you by Toyota.
If you know a NAB AFL Oz kicker that would love to be part of this year's grand final, then please, there's still time to enter them in the NAB AFL Oz Kicker of the Year competition. Just go to aflozkick.com.au and join these young boys and girls. What a great grab that was as the tackle goes to ground. So still plenty of time to enter their halftime scores here. Both sides back out, ready to go in this second half. Sees a 28-point Geelong lead. By the way, at quarter time, North led it by 1 point. 88-56 Geelong at halftime. North 3-10 28 as they gather here. And a reasonable crowd in on this Saturday night for those viewing around Australia. Been a very, very cold day in Victoria again today following yesterday's snow around many parts of metropolitan country Melbourne, Richo.
Yeah, it's a good crowd in here tonight, and you can see the North Melbourne players in that huddle there. They need to come out with some real intent in this first 5 minutes, get some centre clearances going their way, and just get some control of the football, because we know what the Cats did to them in that second quarter, forced them into some mistakes, some not their doing. But once this Geelong team gets a sniff, they go on with it. So it'll be very interesting to see how North handle this first 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I think that man on screen, Boomer Harvey, even though I really feel he's a bit stiff on a couple of the decisions, when you've been involved in negative things that cost your team goals, you really want to come out and just serve it up, see if you can right a few of the wrongs. He had 10 possessions and a goal, Boomer, but he'd be looking for a really big second half.
Lingy, your thoughts here as we're about to get underway in the third quarter?
Well, you can see the bloke on screen there, Drew Petrie. He's crucial now. North Melbourne have got to find a way to get some effectiveness out of their entries. Drew Petrie, Majak Daw and Aaron Black haven't had much influence on this game. They need to get their entries better. They need those players getting dangerous, and they need those players hitting the scoreboard. We know Geelong will kick a big score. North Melbourne have got to make sure when they get a chance, they really nail it.
Okay, the Luke Farmer holding the ball aloft there and not raising the siren, so he's not sure. We're not sure. There it is. So we're all just a little edgy and a little early. Maybe the man up in the box might have just not been there for the moment. Back we go. Second half of footy underway. What have the Roos got? They need to respond, and they need to do it here in the third quarter. Guthrie's been a live wire all night. Gave it to a man in Dawson Simpson that was always under the Goldstein pressure.
No genuine attempt.
Well, a bit of recent form might go North's way. They've won 9 of the last 10 third quarters. Geelong have won 2 of their last 12. So this might be a moment. They've started pretty well here. Good hands from Drew Petrie in the lead there.
That's a good start to get him going, because they need to get him featuring. Big Drew, Zeeble. Very generously spoke to our own Cameron Ling at half-time. Hez right, got around and just got within range. Lets it rip with a long one. And a rush behind there in the end.
Good build-up, though, by North Melbourne. Really good ball movement, changed the angles.
Hard to beat here, Geelong. They've won 28 of their past 33 games at this venue. And they are real difficult to beat.
They don't really lose at any venues, do they?
They have a strike
6 or
rate
7
of
years.
80%, Richo, since 2007. Exactly 80% of wins in their games. Amazing.
Would have to be close to the best record any team's ever put together ever.
Since 2007, 152 of 190 games they've won.
Amazing period.
Stokes. Underground handball through Guthrie was inventive.
Big Dawson Simpson is pushed down to full forward, and Blitzarsk comes into the ruck.
The subs in this game, Hall-and-Smith, George Hall-and-Smith for Geelong, and Lee Adams in his 100th game for North Melbourne is the sub for them.
Got to love that from James Kelly, having a great year as a defender. Doesn't worry about his opponent too much, just plays the football, takes the mark.
I think it was you saying, Lingy, that when I think it was Josh Hunt did his knee one particular year, went down and filled in the back pocket for a year.
Yeah, BT 2009, ended up playing back pocket for most of that year, and also played back pocket in the grand final on Stephen Milne. Very versatile player.
And can go on ball, can go wherever you ask him. Here's Hawkins, long way up from his 50 zone. Atley did well to spoil Caddy, kept it alive. Now Murdoch, interception here, got to make it work. Bastanak to Harvey, had a frustrating first half, and that's not a great start for him. Selwood to Motlock, who's looked dangerous at times tonight. This is a North Melbourne home game here at Etihad Stadium.
And this is when North don't play well for me, when they allow uncontested marks, chip up footy, they're not putting enough pressure on the opposition. And chopping the arms free kick goes against the Kangaroos again. And for me, whether that's a free kick or not, probably was against that. They're going to play on a score here.
Christensen into an open goal. That was just far, far too easy. Split the timber work in the end.
He's up to 20 now. Alan Christensen starting at half forward and then just rolling up the ground and doing as he pleases at the moment. I reckon that's one of their greatest strengths, Geelong. The players that they can play off half forward, not necessarily starting in the middle of the ground. They get up into traffic and then just lose their opponents on the way back. Stokes, Motlop, Christensen.
Looking to make it 5 wins in a row. They're the Cats. And the Roos looking to rebound off a loss last week. Hansen involved here. Jacobs. Now Bastanak. Little penetrating run. Goldstein, nice handball to Ferrito. He pounds the ball forward. Once again, Matt Dactor ran under the footy. You can see that from a mile off. Cunnington around the corner, pulled the kick and now straightens up. And Thomas will mark in the pocket now. He's almost a certainty to run and play on. Yeah, gee, Hawkins is coming close.
3 metres.
He ends up getting under the football, Matt Dactor, and then he double jumps off two.
He just, you could see it a mile off.
Two legs, yeah.
Now, Lindsay Thomas is just trying to capture them off guard.
They are in. Hawkins and Kelly look way too close, and they're getting closer.
Yep, and the umpire wasn't watching them take a half a step in then. Thomas did really well. It was professional, and he got the goal that North needed. Really cool stuff, wasn't it, from Lindsay Thomas? Not sure he needed to go sort of that hard at the crowd, but maybe trying to generate his own supporters into a frenzy.
What do you think about when the players are getting close there, BT, like in the World Cup, the shaving foam, just so they can't come any closer?
I like it, but at the time of the umpires marking it, Lindsay Thomas may well have played on, and he will have missed the lot. That's the only worry. Here's Stokes. Turns around, little kick in is good, and great hands from Caddy. Under some attention from Ferrito.
Yeah, quick transition from the Cats. They have conceded. You know, he's going to play it again here, Caddy.
And there you go. The umpire turned his back on that occasion and he was off. Bang!
Richo would have had the spray paint out, and it all would have just gone balls up, Richo.
Oh, well.
I reckon your foam's a better idea than your laser, though, Richo. I reckon it's got a better chance of coming in than your old laser idea for the 50.
We'll get one eventually, Lingy.
I've launched a few theories here on Saturday night, footy, Richo. One with the goalpost getting a bit narrow up the top, didn't quite get a little traction.
You've misread that one, Das.
We might bring Mythbusters on board and just see whether we can put a few of these to bed that Richo's creating.
The goalpost one is 100% right.
Come on, Richo.
No, it is.
Lonigan. Space for Kelly. 250th. Taylor wanting it over the top. Left footer, remember. Came back. Hansen should have guarded for that a little more. And that's in the back from Duncan.
Stay back to him, John. Thanks, mate. Play on. Still me.
There's the smooth-moving Delcano. Had to go back, Harvey. Wanted to move it quickly, and he did that really well. Creative stuff.
They're getting the overlap that they were getting early in the game now, BT.
There's Zeeble, got behind in right and did really well.
Great mark.
He wants to get up and go. He's now within range. He clobbers it. Just to the left.
How much better do they look as a side, North Melbourne? Richo was right onto it. Boomer Harvey, you know, that was a really clever kick to kick it around the body, get it moving. Zeeble gets up and plays on. They look so much more dangerous. They started playing that way, and that is the only way I feel like they can get back in this game to do that more consistently.
But Das, the key to them being able to do that and get back into this game is making sure that they can stop Geelong's ball use going back the other way. It can't be an end-to-end game. They need to control the ball in their half of the ground.
Christensen. Duncan. Kept going.
Legged. No, you had hold of his shoe.
Oh, you're kidding me. Who's your shoe?
So free kick to Duncan. Had hold of him, said the umpire.
Gets better each year, Mitch Duncan. Had a really good night tonight. This will be his third goal if he can put this one through.
Yep, we won in each quarter. For Mitch Duncan, we'll have to kick it 52 or 3 though. Lets it rip, a little bit off to the left-hand side and minor score. Just pulled the string out of the old jocks there.
He had a fair point. He didn't Jack Siebel. We said he didn't touch his leg. He grabbed the drawstring.
Thomas is out here, BT.
String of the jocks, he is as well. Richo, look at this. The kick needed to be perfect. Lindsay waits for it. Look at this. He's got McDonald in the square. He needed it a little bit more up in the kick. He just tried to kick it too sharp, too hard and too low. McDonald did well to escape out of the pack, but misses.
Got a shocking bounce. That deserved a goal. It was great transition.
On his non-preferred foot there too, Lindsay, but he did get a shocking bounce, didn't he?
Skidded onto him.
Yeah. McDonald, of course, missing the opportunity to kick his first goal in footy there.
I think he was making the point a little earlier about the ability to defend Geelong, and uncontested marks is a stat. When we have a look at it there, Cats have already taken 61 uncontested marks. When they beat Hawthorn a couple of weeks ago, their best win for the year, Hawthorn only had 53 for the match, and they've just been allowing that again too easily tonight, North Melbourne.
Del Santo gives them a real genuine opportunity, and yes, they've got one through. 2 in the quarter for North.
Well, here's Del Santo getting on the end of a nice release handball. He doesn't miss these, but they're winning it out of the clearances. 5-0. They're contested, so they're doing what you've got to do, getting first hands on the footy, and then it's allowing them to play the game how they want to.
Back to 16 points now, and a kick to Swallow.
Hold it.
So another centre clearance, which I just pointed out. Great attack on the ball there from Andrew Swallow.
Swallow gives them a chance. Lindsay Thomas probably should have marked that. In the end, it was just a chest mark. So they're providing themselves with some opportunity, but the counter-attack, no one between Bartel and the goals, basically, hoping for a good bounce. Kirsten runs onto it very easily. Clean pick-up goal at the other end.
Thanks, boys. Job, Captain.
Well, it's a big moment, isn't it? The other end, that's one that you would back Lindsay Thomas into mark 95% of the time. He drops it. They get one back. The Cats fairly shortly afterwards.
Just in two minds, probably, when he launched to the footy, whether to take it out in front or take it chest mark then Lindsay Thomas.
So North trying to continue this little run at the moment. 2 goals to 1 in the quarter. Don't need to trim all of the margin back in this quarter, but just another goal or 2 here in this quarter.
Lingy, who would you like better when you've got a loose player back, Taylor v Hansen, as it is at the moment?
Well, both very good at the intercept mark, aren't they? I mean, Harry Taylor's one who's done it for longer and probably better for longer than Lockie Hansen, but I reckon Hansen sets North Melbourne up really well. Jimmy Bartel's trying to round him up, but Hansen, again, just backing back off the pack to create an outnumber. As Joel Selwell will draw another high free kick.
Stevie Motlop just come off the ground while you weren't looking then too, Lingy, and he looks really sore. Stevie Motlop, in the meantime, the umpire says play on to Selden. That's a great kick to Caddy. And Caddy has taken a terrific mark. So Stevie Motlop in some trouble with the right knee, it looks like.
He smashed the bench then, fast when he came off.
Let's hope he's okay, Stevie Motlop. That would be a tragedy. Hey, this is really interesting, isn't it? Luke Farmer, who played a lot of ticky-touch ones in the first half. Now, that's a genuine... That's one that gets reversed every day of the week. I think someone spoke to Luke Farmer at half-time and said, you know what, let's just go a little bit easier on that. Let's take a look at Stevie Motlop there.
Caddy comes in and he's got that bending the right way. So 2 in a row now for the Cats.
We just see Stevie Motlop there, just landing on his knee, which maybe suggests potentially a PCL-type injury where it's a contact one. Let's hope it's just a jarred one. He just getting a bit of treatment from the doctors, but in a lot of pain on the bench. He's not very comfortable at all.
Selwood, let's hope he can recover then, Lingy. towards Bartel. Real difficult ball to bounce. They've got to get cracking here now, North Melbourne, because Geelong are starting to regain the momentum in this game. Majak Daw into the Dukes, couldn't hold it. McDonald. Second opportunity, Cunnington. The don't argue. Little handball here, Bastanak. Cunnington now. But Selwood gets in the way.
He's back up now, Stevie Motlop. So he's going to come back on, so that's great news.
Varco. On to Stokes. Here go Geelong again. Stevie J lurking in the back against Johnson. McDonald's ball. Gee, I don't think he thought about that handball. Harvey was always going to be hemmed in. He should have gone back the other way. Now he's got to get rid of it hastily, and he does. No mark, it's play on, says the umpire. Gibson, hurried handball to Atley. He's got Zeeble on if he wants. Intercepted. Not 15, said the umpire. You heard the call. Umpire Brett Roseberry there.
Joel Selwood, we saw him draw another high free kick since his debut in 2007. That's the 243rd high contact free kick he's received. We've got another one being paid, this time going to go North Melbourne's way. The next best in that time is brother Adam, is at 145. So he's the master at it, Joel Selwood. And I reckon it's good play. I think you get in low and hard.
They practiced in the backyard, or?
Well, they were good at it.
Got low and hard in the backyard.
I think so.
Guys, just really quickly, good news for Geelong fans. Stevie Motlop back out on the ground, looks to be running okay.
So kick wide here. Finds Jacobs. North Melbourne really do need to kick the next goal, and they're a chance here. Cunnington outside to right. Right on his non-preferred. That's a free kick to Lindsay Thomas. But he's in the slider pocket against Kelly, and he's taking him on more of an angle than I reckon he marked it on, or got the free kick on.
And the North Melbourne fans, you just see them out of their chair. And they're a little bit agitated about what they think's been an unfair night their way, free kick-wise.
So Lindsay Thomas really needs to aim this, perhaps as a left footer, inside left goal post, or at the left goal post. Big kick, really big kick, because if Geelong get the next one, it's into the 30s. But this to trim it back to the low 20s. Lindsay Thomas across the face. With that sliding pocket, has kicked it out of bounds with a full.
And Lee, Stevie Motlop missed the first 4 weeks of the year with a knee injury. Do you remember what that was?
I don't remember exactly what it was, but I do know he went overseas to have the operation. So it was one they were obviously pretty serious about, and making sure they got the absolute best to do it. So they'd be worried about it.
Majak Daw, has he hung on to it?
Majak Daw.
Umpires confer, and they say he has.
Out of zone confirmed as a mark.
How can he call it? You're 10 metres away. You saw two.
Mark's been called.
Out of zone, umpire called it a mark. Let's have a look. What do you think?
You saw it.
That's a mark.
Andrew, as long as we get the right outcome, it doesn't matter who. Time
That
back
is a
on.
mark every day of the week.
Yeah, the umpire called it as long as we get the right outcome, and I think we did.
And even if there's a finger there, it doesn't really matter. Those marks in the pack are always paid.
That's good umpiring, and I love the way that umpire spoke to the players. Really calmly, cleared direction, not deciding to try and go over the top about it.
Majak Daw, here he is. 30-metre kick, and he's got it. Very nicely done from Majak Daw. Got a really good, casual, nicely controlled kicking action, Majak Daw, so he's learnt that part of the game. Back to a 22-point margin here. And that'll be a big confidence booster for him and the team. Swallow goes in hard for this next clearance and almost earned himself a free. Reckon a crowd tonight here of about 33, 34,000 at most, I would have thought. North Melbourne home game tonight. There's umpire Brett Roseberry, 300th game for him tonight. 6 grand finals he's umpired.
pretty good effort.
Really good effort, Richo.
Be right in line again this year, BT.
Yeah, he would. No fuss umpire, just gets the job done. Del Sano to Gibson. A little bit of a push when he went to kick it. Majak come back on the footy, picked it up with just the one juke. Gee, he was tackled high. Lindsay Thomas could have given it again for the third time tonight. He could have given it again.
Well, that's an issue. You just have to, I mean, he potentially could have run on to an open goal there, Lee Adams, who started as a sub, and you've just got to do the team thing there, Lingy. We've been over the top up here. Got to give that one off.
No, absolutely got to give that. And the bloke that you said he should have given it to is Lee Adams, who started as the sub. It's Aaron Mullett who's been subbed off for North Melbourne. But again, we come back to that point. Little chances in a game against Geelong you just have to take, whether it's shots at goal or whether it's taking the better option. North have got to be better at that.
Well, Daniel Gerard has tweeted in and said that's a lot of behinds for these teams with a stadium that has a roof, and I agree. At the moment, 25 behinds between these two teams and only 16 goals.
I think Geelong are the most inaccurate team this year.
Thanks, boys. Nothing.
Thompson telling Stevie J to get up there.
Yeah, that was...
So that's a change of policy, though. In the first half, they were being paid as free kicks. Now, you know what? If you keep doing that, I reckon you should get a free kick paid.
Christensen out of the pack, tried to bend it back.
But the common sense thing is to wander over and, you know, keeping an eye on you. You half took a dive. Scotty, you do it again, you'll pay a free kick. And it tends to sort itself out.
Yeah. Now, that was the same force. Darsh, you're quite right. The same force where that other one was given away as a free kick. There's no question. No question at all. Gibson to Bastanak. To Adams. As mentioned, the sub that's been activated for North Melbourne. Short one here to Bastanak again.
Hold there, Matty.
Thanks, Matty. Right over there.
So a 3-goal to 2-quarter for the Roos. A very gettable 22 points. 4 minutes 50 remaining in the third. Slow but patient build-up. Petrie the target. Did well to compete and bring it to the ground. Enright with a little poker that gained his team 35. 2-on-1 there. Christensen did well to Stokes. Stokes and Christensen. Now the overlap from Motlop. 3 really dangerous players there. They combine and share the ball magnificently. Bartel to the finisher, Motlop. Got a little loopy with the footy. It's on target, but not enough length.
There's those 3 players again involved in getting up the ground and then giving Geelong that counter-attack back the other way. Stokes, Christensen and Motlop.
And Bartel for a bit of help.
Big 4 minutes here remaining in the third quarter for me. They pitch one the other way, North Melbourne. It's a 16-ball game. I think they're a big chance to come and run over the top of the Cats. One the other way, it might be a goal too far.
Yep. It is that delicately poised, Das. Here's Greenwood. Really courageous stuff. On to Harvey. Harvey runs. Penetrating run here. 2 bounces. Just tries a little 360 pirouette. Then a nice little ball inside. And Cunnington marks. Slows it down. Leads aplenty. Here's Lindsay Thomas in some space. Had his man Kelly beaten. And he's got a push for a free. He's only 25 metres out.
Lindsay.
How good was that kick into the middle of the ground that set up this opportunity? There's a fair bit of mayonnaise put on that one.
Jeez, he made the most. Has to be a free kick before Thomas has taken it off.
Look, there's a touch at the back there, but he's been launched out of a cannon. I don't like it. I don't like it. There's a free there.
That's comical.
I think everyone who's played forward might have done it at some point, though.
Okay,
quite to that extent.
Lindsay Thomas to get it back to 16. In he comes from 30. He's got it. There's the goal you wanted, Das.
Everyone who's played forward's taken a dive. He was the clubhouse leader, that is.
He was launched from Cape Canaveral there.
High degree of difficulty.
Oh, come on.
Never seen quite like it.
A 4-goal to 2-quarter for North Melbourne. They are back within 16.
Jack Zeeble.
Zeeble's free.
North Melbourne, Jack Zeeble.
And a onesie just to top off the cold weather tonight for that supporter. Zeeble.
Play on.
Low ball to Petrie. He's got the jukes out in front. And he marked it with the thumbs together with the big W.
Oh, they've just smashed them in the clearances this quarter, North Melbourne. And that's the reason they're right back in this game now with Drew Petrie can convert this one.
Sizzling bullet from the boot of Zeeble. Petrie now from 48 to get it back to 10 points. Steps to the plate. Distance not a problem. North Melbourne fans are ecstatic. Yep, the crowd of 33,000 here tonight enjoying this one right now. Drawing closer as we edge towards three-quarter time. Cunnington and Guthrie involved off the footy, but North Melbourne in the meantime go forward. Here's the dangerous Lindsay Thomas again. Kelly right with him. Magic Door trying to get rid of Kelly. Thomas to the ground, and he got driven forward. And I thought that was a little lucky as well. And that's 50 metres, is it? Now that is the same force as what he gave in the first quarter.
It's a much better decision, though. You can't.
I think there's been a correction at half-time.
There has been, and there should have been.
But I agree with your point earlier. You must be consistent. Del Sano, top of the square. The big boys fly. Petrie is there. Magic Door. Mackie. The heat right on Geelong here at the moment. Greenwood trying to corral that footy. We've got a minute in the third quarter remaining. Attacked a footy. Thompson didn't dispose of it correctly. Said it was knocked out in the tackle, the umpire. Hawkins with a little boot to Murdoch. Not the required journey. Have they overcommitted here, North Melbourne? Have they overcommitted? Here goes Motlop, the smooth mover from the Cats. Couple of bounces, gets to within range, strikes a long blow. It'll go all the way. In the end, Duncan kicks the goal, and they did overcommit. They did overcommit in the end, the Roos.
Yeah, great call. And what about the turbocharged speed of Murdoch there, Richo? He's got what type of speed, hasn't he? Brilliant bursting play through the middle of the ground, and that really hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And here's a look at the one, the free kick, no 50.
He's lucky.
Yeah, there probably was a 50 there. And then that push, well, there's nothing in that. We won't worry about that. But I guess the push and then
what about this?
The transition.
How far did he run here? No, he's okay, I reckon.
How important are those guys, Slingy, for Geelong, them small half boards to get up the ground and give you that transition back the other way?
Yeah, massive, Richo. As you said, they are able to work right up the ground, but they don't get caught up there. They don't get lost up there. They make it back inside 50. And Mitch Duncan did it, Motlop, and also Murdoch.
Adams with the free here, goes long and deep once again. Magic got himself under the footy. Just his judgment at the length of ball that's coming in is not good.
Yeah, brilliant mark, though, by Rivers, who judged it beautifully. Hey, Lee, Murdoch's speed, he just looks like he's flying at the moment.
Yeah, they love his speed. That's what they love having him out there for. Obviously a young player, but a lot of toe.
Oh, stay with us. Chris Scott against brother Brad Scott. Supporter against supporter. And player against player.
Fair bit of feedback on Twitter for Lindsay Thomas. Taylor Adams from Collingwood says maybe give him an Oscar. So not all that amount of support for his diving.
Geelong by 16 points at three-quarter time with a rampaging North Melbourne to come on the other side of the break.
The three-quarter time break, brought to you by Amy.
Two top teams on Saturday night footy. The Roos got a fast start. Goals from Greenwood, Harvey in his 380th, and they looked really impressive early in this game. They're up and about, late stages of the first quarter, and Geelong edged back into it. North by a point at quarter time. Controversy in the second quarter as posters, 50-metre penalties off the footy, Magic another one then, and collisions of epic proportions. That one unbelievable. And then Caddy with a big goal. Geelong by 28 at halftime. You thought how far. Kirsten, when he kicked the first goal of his 2 consecutive goals in the third, we thought it was all over. Then Petrie stepped to the plate and kicked the goal. Dore and Thomas combined as well. But Duncan got a late one. And it's a 16-point margin in favour of Geelong at three-quarter time.
Yeah, North Melbourne clawed back some ground there in the third term. Let's get down to Lingy. What did you make of the Cats' third quarter?
Well, they would have been happy with their ability to score in that quarter, Dust, no doubt. They kicked those 3 goals. You saw the late one there for Mitch Duncan. But what they'll be really disappointed in was the fact that they conceded 15 inside 50s to North Melbourne. Just gave those North forwards too many opportunities. Drew Petrie started looking dangerous. Lindsay Thomas certainly as well. No doubt that was the message at three-quarter time from Chris Scott, from the captain Joel Selwood, was let's start defending better all across the ground. Don't just leave our defenders exposed by allowing North getting the ball inside 50 too easily.
Thanks, Lingy. Centre clearances have been an issue. North Melbourne on top 10-5. Now, we were having a little conspiracy theory, at least I was. I felt at half-time the game was being umpired in a very technical way, and we just went through BT, those free kicks that were paid. There was a definite change in that at three-quarter time. We put a call into the AFL and said, did anyone get hold of the umpiring group at half-time and suggest that maybe they'd been over the top? And the answer is absolutely not. So we'll leave it at that. And hopefully we won't talk about the umpires again for the rest of the night.
Well, maybe they just assessed themselves at half-time like the players do and thought, well, maybe we did just go a little bit too far.
That's another very good point, Richard.
All right, we'll settle in at home because Geelong by 16, but North on the attack. Geelong yet to use their sub. George Hall-and-Smith still sits on the bench in the vest. Adams is on for North Melbourne. He's been activated. Goldstein in the middle, palm down. Stokes from the wing, came off the edge of the square to get that. Thompson under enormous Murdoch pressure here. Bartel circling as well. Geelong players in the end fighting over the footy, which is a good sign.
Tackled 2 players at once then, Scotty Thompson. Wrapped them both up.
Straight back.
So Mullen out for North. George Hall-and-Smith yet to be used. Stokes, long handball, clearing the traffic to Enright. Deliberate little chip to Caddy, who's played really well tonight. Kirsten couldn't hang on there. It's been one of the better games I've seen Caddy play.
Yeah, he's been really... Gee, that was really nearly a great kick by Enright. He saw that little hole about 15 metres out and he put it there for Kirsten. He just couldn't quite get to it.
Oh, out the back. Christensen's managed to sneak one. Says goodbye to the North Melbourne supporters. Well, the goal was good from Christensen. Have a look at this. The little goodbye to the North Melbourne supporters. Or is it the OK? Or is it the 3? I don't know. Does?
I think it's the OK.
I think it's the OK. And they are going OK. They're up by 22 points.
Still me. You.
Enright out the back.
Yep. You.
Now North Melbourne really under the pump here. Harry Taylor and Varco combining here now.
They would have been filthy conceding a goal from a stoppage there, though. North Melbourne have actually conceded 3 from the goal square tonight.
Zeeble used his head as a battering ram there. He's very lucky to get that free kick.
Play on. Still me.
Still got to tackle them correctly. Majak Dore better this time, in good position. Adams with a little handball to Black. Varco slung in the tackle.
I still reckon just an improvement for Majak. He jumped off both feet then again. If he elevates off one leg, he'll be able to get his knee up onto the back of his opponent and get a bit of a sit. It's hard to get the sit when you jump off 2 legs.
Jordan Bannister throwing it up there. Johnson wanting the free. Nothing on.
Got him. One metre charge.
Goldstein. Not got on the end of it. Stokes. Cunnington a little hand there as well. Now Christensen.
1 metre, Dawson!
Watch Selwood.
So on the live ladder at the moment, Geelong second position on the ladder.
Back this way, boys.
A lot of meaning in it for them, and
Don't hold!
North Melbourne just trying to stay in touch with everyone that's trying to play finals here at the moment.
Yeah, that one under pressure. Cunnington's gone out of bounds on the floor. This is why the first goal of the quarter, as we take a look at that live ladder, BT, and see what it means, can't you? Hawthorn to play the Bulldogs tomorrow. They could jump back over the top.
North have
of
to
the
win
Cats.
to have any chance of a top four, don't they? Any chance at
Yep.
all.
Just the percentage for the Cats may hurt them in the end, because they're a long way behind Hawthorn and Sydney. So important, the top two finish home finals, although they lost down there last year.
Separate!
That first goal of this quarter, Christian's been able to take the whole momentum out of the game a bit. It's exactly what Geelong wanted. They now feel comfortable and they can just, you know, hold their own, make it a one-on-one contest, make it hard for North Melbourne at the moment.
It has, Dars. You can almost feel that North Melbourne are just questioning their belief now, just a little.
And on the back of that goal that you guys are talking about, they've milked about 3 or 4, probably even 5 minutes now of just stoppages. Boundary throw-ins, ball ups inside the North forward 50, just getting the game back under control, and then they'll try and wrestle it back onto their terms. Really professional footy.
Good mark taken by Caddy, as we say, has played a really good game tonight.
Moving on, play on!
15 touches of the footy, 2 goals, 2.
He's taken a couple of really good marks, hasn't he, Caddy?
Yep.
Josh Caddy in their best 18, Lingy, heading into the finals.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Provides a lot in that middle part of the ground. And again, just another number to go through there against the really good teams.
Coming off 2 goals last week as well. Josh Caddy. Here's Matt Jack. He thought about straightening. Gee, that was a good little handball to Adams. Adams now lets it rip and hits the post.
Yeah, he did it well, Matt Jack. Initially took off towards goal, knew that he wasn't going to be able to kick it himself, so...
He knew he didn't have enough tarmac to get back on his right foot, didn't he?
Yeah, did it really well. Came back inboard and a nice release handball.
2 posters for North tonight, 3 for Geelong. There's a cut-off by the pressure of McDonald, one of the youngsters working really hard out there. Stevie J to Duncan, turn to the boundary, in defence under pressure, boundary line's your friend. And he found it.
He's had a great first season, Luke McDonald. Just that ability to close down there, not concede a mark to Steve Johnson. Fantastic play from such a young player, and he's done it all year. Really consistent season.
Christensen to Bartel. Kicks it down the line. Selwood a release and won himself a free. It was brilliantly done by Selwood on right. And he looks into the middle and he sees Motlop, who made some nice ground, and in the end, he's marked this 40 metres out directly in front. He just go back and set shot this.
Just quickly, guys, you can see George Holland-Smith about to come on. Shane Kirsten's been subbed off for the Cats, so Holland-Smith will join in shortly.
Yeah, thanks, Lingy, for that. The kick from Joel Selwood, can't describe how good that was. It was almost an outside of the boot job from one step, but he got 45 metres on it into the absolute perfect zone for Stevie Motlop to run onto.
For his second goal tonight, there's the task ahead for Motlop. For a 27-point Geelong lead, and he gave it everything, got right through it, and the goal umpire just watched it go over the top. Well, crowd here tonight, as I said before, around about the 33,000 mark, but have they got one last gasp in them, North Melbourne? They'll need it. Geelong have opened with the first 2 goals of the last quarter. They lead it by 27. There's the sub, Holland-Smith, with immediate effect to Selwood, who drives it long, and Hawkins a little push out on Thompson. Burrito saw as well.
Marking interference, mate. You can't do that.
It's great courage from Burrito, and that really hurts when you almost get accidentally tunnelled there.
Didn't take his eyes off it at all.
No, it was brilliant courage.
Tom Hawkins has been feisty tonight. He's trying to talk the umpire out of that one. I mean, he's got him in the back there, and he's really had a bit of a chitter-chatter going tonight, Tom Hawkins. And we've enjoyed it. We've liked it. I've liked his involvement emotionally in the game. He's really connected big time. There's a turnover that's going to hurt, really going to hurt. And the Tomahawk, much to Brad Scott's disgust, will get a look from directly in front.
Gee, it hurts Scotty Thompson. He's done a pretty good job on the Tomahawk. Only 7 disposals, but yeah, that's not what you like. And look at Scotty Thompson. Nothing he can do. He'd be flat as a tackle, that.
This will take him to goal 51 if he kicks. Just one behind Jay Schultz in the Coleman chase. Using all of his allotted 30 seconds here. Game 141 for Tom Hawkins, basically directly in front. He's really improved this part of his game. And the Geelong faithful stand and acknowledge.
Back.
Close look at the slow-mo and getting the ball to spin nice and sharply is always a great sign of the timing and the contact that's made with the footy. Backing back, Kelly. And he'll get the chair off. He came on with his kids. How many kids has he got, Lingy? He seemed to have a whole tribe, or they not his?
No, 0 kids, BT.
Gee. I'd given him 3. Whose were they then?
He borrowed a few, I think.
I have no idea, actually. I'll find that one out for you before the end of the game.
When he come out with them, I put them down as his.
They might have just been the mascots. Most teams have a couple of young kids running out.
Don't tell me we're bringing other people's kids on the ground. No, they weren't mascots. They looked like they knew him.
Right.
They were very young.
You've always been a big fan of that, haven't you? The celebration with the...
Just a little uncertain now. I've heard that. Stevie J, long footy. Good mark taken by Bartel.
What a great mark. What a great kick as well. He's been one of the best, Stevie J. We know he always loves to take a risk and come through the middle. And he was holding the jumper.
Yep.
Got away with that. That's a free kick against Jimmy Bartel. If the defender was holding on like that, it'd definitely be paid. Forwards can get away with those occasionally. But as a midfielder, he's been one of the best marks.
This is now in danger of being blown out a bit here. This will make it 39 points, and he's got it to bend right to left. 39 for Geelong.
Can be very overrated hit-outs, except when they're like that. And that is absolutely brilliant from Todd Goldstein. Unfortunately, it hasn't helped because they are getting absolutely blown apart here in the last quarter. Biggest margin of the game at the moment, 39 points.
Geordie Bannister with an unusual bounce of the footy. By the way, Geelong have kicked 10 goals to the left of screen tonight. North Melbourne have kicked 1 goal to the right of screen tonight. As Geelong go forward yet again, leading by 39 nearly. Another free kick there going the way of Bartel. And Del Santo won't get out of there, or is it Hansen on the bottom? It's Hansen.
I'm glad there wasn't a free kick paid there. They were both hugging each other in that marking contest as they fell to ground.
Majak did well in the ruck contest. Zeebel's got to beat Mackie. Out the back he did. He looked downfield and there wasn't a lot on him, so he gives Thomas a one-on-one contest. Rivers closing down on him. Nailed him. Now he might have driven him forward a little. And now it's up to Lindsay to make an attempt.
Trapped in there. Good tackle. Thanks, boys. Back this way, boys.
Paul and Smith. Bartel again. Hansen now. So North Melbourne finds some space in the middle here. Greenwood's got the footy, looks for someone to deliver it to. Zeeble on the lead's got good hands. Gibson gives it to Wright, and Wright goes for home, drawing back. Yet again, another poster.
Well, we know North Melbourne like to play a three tall forward line, and tonight it's Blackdoor and Petrie. They've only taken 5 marks between them. And I don't reckon that's enough if you're going to go in with a tall forward line.
Now, surely that can't be deliberate, as Ferrito was appealing for. Good call. So Geelong really muscling home here in the last quarter with 4 unanswered goals. Its arms in front. Hamish McIntosh, a late withdrawal in this game tonight. That's why Dawson Simpson is playing. He was originally listed as an emergency. Well done, Hansen.
Play on.
Goes out wide, looking for Jacobs. And a nice kick, nicely weighted kick, finds Jacobs. Adams really wanted it, and he will get it now. He's got a bit more separation between he and Stevie Johnson. Orland Smith. Motlop.
Bad skill errors here in the last quarter. Kangaroos has really hurt them.
Stevie J to Bartel. Ferrito did well. Jacobs, Del Santo combined. And back to McDonald. Done well this year, McDonald, generally speaking, hasn't he, with his 17th game for the club. Just one of their young players who's going to be a 200-game player for them. Long handball to Selwood.
Yeah, another entry inside 50. Bastanak had 13 touches in the third quarter. That's his first for the last, but they've had a real issue delivering inside 50, the Kangaroos.
Yeah. Oh. Well, Jordan Bannister had the whistle to the mouth, but he didn't blow it. He waited to see what happened.
You take it.
Fair enough. Here comes Caddy to try and rip this way from Cunnington. Did well.
Even that entry is just doesn't help the forwards at all.
Too shallow. And if you get a spoil in there and it goes back towards Geelong's goal, it's pretty hard to stop.
Inventive kick from Del Santo to find Black.
Well, again, it was that kick there from Del Santo is probably an example of what you actually want to do. Just lowered his vision a little bit, clever, weighted it, because Jared Rivers, you could see coming up there, he had it covered over the back. If Del Santo had have gone long, he would have just taken an uncontested mark. Clever play. Probably too little, too late for North Melbourne. They needed to have more composure going forward throughout the game.
Right behind this one with Black. Got it working, but not enough. 8:14 remaining in the game. Haven't kicked well at goal tonight. Well, either side really, but particularly North Melbourne. 8 goals, 17 under the enclosed space and dome that is Etihad Stadium. Perfect conditions.
That's mark number 96 for Geelong. Well, I reckon a fair indicator is if you're going to be able to take 100 marks against a team, more often than not, you're going to win it. And Geelong have been able to do that. North have just allowed them to play a bit too easy tonight.
In the back from Hawkins. By the way, North Melbourne are currently 6th. If they were to concede a few more goals, they could fall one more spot behind the Bombers here, so they need to keep going and fight this one out. Beautiful kick, Zeeble to Black. Black turns and goes. He too with a nice kick to Thomas. Tried to turn Kelly inside out. The effect of that, and then the left foot snap. It was beautiful play.
They were really interested in the post-game, boys, as to particularly Brad Scott, what his response is going to be. They would have set themselves tonight. I wonder what he's going to think of that 20-minute period where they gave away the 50-metre penalties and the free kicks, and always pretty honest, Brad Scott, so look forward to hearing the post-match wash-up.
Official crowd in here tonight, 32,564 as Selwood goes to an open goal square. Thompson tries to get rid of Hawkins. Yeah, that will be entertaining listening and watching. How disruptive can Geelong be come September, do you think, boys? Richo and Das?
I see them as a genuine contender. I think they would love to play Hawthorn, given their record, as Bartel takes a really clever mark and go back and have a set shot. Yeah, I don't think their form line is anywhere near as good as Sydney or Hawthorn. But I think with what they've done, there's so many triple premiership players out here. The young players are really talented. That's got to count for something when you roll into a big final. So I think they're really dangerous. You would not want to meet them if they can keep going the way they are, Richard.
Absolutely agree. They know what they're doing in September, and they've still got enough champion players out there to do some damage.
Bartel just dragging that one a touch.
They've got guys coming into good form, like Christensen tonight. What an outstanding performance from him, 29 touches, and he's only going to get better in the next 5 weeks.
Enright. Little handball to Mackie. Mackie draws Hawkins to the footy. It was a great kick. Good hands by Hawkins. But gee, Mackie.
That's a fair asset too, isn't it, going into a finals campaign? Remember last year, Tom Hawkins was almost crippled with his back. Well, no issues. Kicked over 50 goals. This will put him equal leading the Coleman medal. They can draw so much footy through him. Kirsten helps as well.
Richo, did you see the Jukes in slow-mo with the big W and the thumbs together there?
It's like going and doing a school clinic, wasn't it, with the WBT, getting the kids to hold their hands up.
And why are the thumbs together, Richo?
So it doesn't come through and hit you on the snoz.
Yes. It's a very basic thing, but this man here did it beautifully. And now Tom lines up for goal number 4. And he's centred a little bit right.
Lee, let me ask you, as someone who knows Geelong as well as anyone, is there anyone left to come back in? Who's pushing for selection? Is there someone that you can think of who's out of the side at the moment?
Well, Hamish McIntosh, obviously a late withdrawal tonight. They're probably still working out exactly their best ruck combination between Dawson Simpson, Blitzarves and McIntosh. So they're getting pretty close to that now that Caddy and Christensen are back.
Who gets the nod out of the big men there, given all are available and playing okay, Lingy?
I still think it's well and truly up for grabs. I reckon they like Dawson Simpson because of his size.
Get the picket out of your backside there, Lingy. Who gets the nod?
Who gets the nod? I reckon if you're coming up against Fremantle, you've got to play Dawson Simpson. You need somebody as big a unit as you can possibly have to combat Sandilands. Sandilands killed them in the last year's final down at Simmons Stadium, so I think Simpson gets the nod there.
That's what we like, Lingy. Black from exactly 50 metres really has nailed that goal. A lot of chitter-chatter still going on between both sides here.
Andrew Mackie, the best in the business. But Lingy mentioned Simpson as being the man, but he didn't omit anyone.
I was hoping you weren't going to pick up on that one, Richard.
He's got 3 ruckmen playing.
It's a pretty simple question, Lingy, but here's Hawkins. Got a little bit of help. Fancy work through the legs there. Let's have a look at the run to come here for the Cats. Fremantle next week down at their home, and then Carlton, who are playing some pretty solid footy at the moment. Then they've got Hawthorn and Brisbane, so it's not an easy run for them. 2 of the top 4 sides there.
Well, the good news for them, they win all 4 of those games, they're guaranteed a top 2 spot. So it is in their hands. Some tough ones coming up, as you just showed. The Hawthorn game is going to be an absolute cracker, isn't it? Round 22.
Is that a Saturday night?
I think that's us on a Saturday night.
Look forward to that.
This will be their 14th win of the season tonight, Geelong. 14 wins got you into last year into 6th position. 15 wins was needed to get a position in the top 4 last year. It'll be a little different this year, a little harder. I think you might need an extra win this year.
Just young Mad Jack Richo, I know you follow the forwards closely. It's just still a fair way off, isn't it? The hands aren't quite there.
The good thing about it, though, is he's been in enough positions tonight to take marks, and if he can just get the technique right, he's going to start holding a few. In some of the other games I've watched him play, he hasn't even been getting into the right positions, so
that's a good point.
I guess the positive tonight is he's been in position to take marks, just hasn't been able to do it as we look at.
There's the run home to North, yeah. So GWS, it's a really, really achievable run for them. So GWS, Western Bulldogs, West Coast Eagles and the Demons. West Coast Eagles game. Adelaide Crows down in Hobart, I think that was.
Okay, yeah. Bloodstone Arena was the BA.
Yep.
It's an unusual looking crow. It threw me too.
I wasn't sure whether it was a crow or an eagle, but it had a bit of fluff and feathers about it.
Avid bird watcher as a rule.
Yes.
Yeah, no. It's just in his
You've got a few at home. You've got an aviary out at your house.
I'm normally good with my birds. I've got some chooks and some eagles flying around, but
some parrots as well. You lost a parrot recently, didn't you?
Yes, the parrot got eaten by the dog, and I was really unhappy about that because at one stage I saw it alive, and the next moment it was gone, and the kids accidentally let it out of the cage.
Poor old Polly.
And that was a parrot that I'd trained for years to talk, and it was upsetting.
A bit of wow-wee from the parrot, was there?
It was a wow-wee chase on for the dog, I tell you. It was, forget what it was, but it was a big parrot and it was expensive.
Push out.
Farito. Taylor to take the kick. So getting down to the last minute and a half here now. Larry Taylor, as Richo pointed out, kicking his first goal of the year tonight in the second quarter. Been forward a couple of times this year, fleetingly, I might add. Fans for North, Mad Jack running in the same direction. And wowee, Mad Jack just couldn't get that one in the jukes.
Yeah, when it's not your night, unfortunately those things happen, and Mad Jack's just had a bit of a tough battle tonight. Hasn't been able to really clunk one, and that can happen even to the very best.
So Geelong, work is done in that box. Blake Carosella there, a valuable member of the Geelong box, and Brad Scott will be wondering. Stay tuned for his press conferences, or press conference. Goldstein, Selwood in there. Holden Smith, the sub tonight, who wasn't used until early in this final quarter. Motlop was really and has been very, very dangerous. Lonergan, an opportunity here to kick the goal. And he has kicked his first goal of the year. Tommy Lonergan.
Well, if you had been able to back Tom Lonergan and Harry Taylor both kicking one tonight, you're a genius. They've both got one apiece.
I tell you what he didn't even think about doing here, Das, was handballing this one over the top. Even when the North defender came at him a little bit, he was always slotting that one.
And I think Scotty Thompson Lee had no thought of allowing it Joe the Goose to Tom Hawkins over the top as well, so that was always going to happen.
He just made sure the coast was clear, didn't he, Tommy? He had a good look around.
Tommy Hawkins was just wishing that Scotty Thompson would sprint at Lonergan, so you get the little cheapie over the top.
He wouldn't have thought that that was his first goal of the year, the way he reacted. It's just like shelling peas.
He's an unassuming man, Tom Lonergan. I love the way he goes about his business.
So the boundary throw in here, and she'll be all over. Fans can head home on this cold night. Geelong with the knowledge that they will have won their 14th game of the year, and North Melbourne with a lot of work to do to play some quality finals this year. Big win from the Cats tonight, 32-point victors.
We are Geelong, the greatest team of all. We are Geelong, we're always on the ball. We play the game as it should be played. At home or far away. Our banners fly high from north to north. Down at Cardinia Park.
Yes, a familiar tune to that, and Cameron Ling has got the 250 gamer with him. Lingy.
I do have James Kelly with me. Just a really good win, wasn't it? North kept coming at you, but to be able to kick away in that last quarter, you must be happy.
Yeah, really happy with the effort. We talked during the week about a 4-quarter effort, and like you said, North came back at us in the second half, and to our credit, we steeled ourselves and then came back at them, which was good.
Congratulations on the 250 games. I mean, I'm quite amazed you made it that far, given you've got no ball skills ability whatsoever. You must be very pleased with yourself.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Not bad for a bloke with not great endurance and no speed. So, yeah, pretty happy and yeah, ecstatic that we won tonight. It was really important for us after the win. So,
and getting less and less hair every day.
Yeah, you're getting more and more pale too, mate.
No, on a serious note, congratulations. You've taken up the role down back as well this year, played the role on Lindsay Thomas. I know he did get a couple on you, but just your ability to adapt your game, you must be pleased that you can have that sort of flexibility.
Yeah, it's good for me, but it's good for the side, really. I know I can go back in the midfield if it's needed, but it gives us an extra defender, which helps those guys stay up on the ground, which is good.
You've been far too serious in this interview, mate. Go and enjoy it. Well done.
Two things there for Lingy. He mentioned the ball skills. He was alluding to other sports with James Kelly there, and of course, in his 250 games, he's won 172 of them, which is a damn good result. Lingy, you're walking into the middle of the huddle. Who have you got now?
I've got Alan Christensen. Just great to be back out there running around, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's good. You know, being out with the boys and even missing last week with the flu. Yeah, it was killing me, so good to be out here again.
Yeah, you were able to have an impact straight away in tonight's game. You would have done a lot of work throughout your time off, so you're feeling good, the body feeling good, the engine feeling good?
Yeah, a couple of weeks away, I reckon. Got to finish off my goals as well, so a little bit of touch work, but no, got it all right.
The boys are just saying you got a nice new haircut just for tonight's game?
No, I got it a couple of weeks ago, but, you know, they love giving me a bit of stick, so, you know, it happens.
Well done tonight, Bundy. Enjoy yourself, mate. Great work.
Very nice there, and this is going to be nice as well, because two things are going to happen here. James Kelly's going to get a bit of a chair off, and we're going to go down for the song very shortly, Das.
Yeah, look forward to both of those things. He got the nice roasting from his old mate Lingy in the post-game interview, and he's had an amazing career, James Kelly, well deserving of the 250-game milestone, and they're a phenomenal group, the Geelong guys. Can't help sometimes looking on with a little bit of jealousy. They've just had such a great period of success, premierships, winning games consistently, and they are not out of it this year. They are a serious contender in my mind.
Well, they've got 4 games left, 14 wins, as the Geelong players form the Guard of Honour, and here's the chair. Stokes and Stevie J get the honour of gentleman James Kelly in game 250. He's not too comfortable up there, is he? But huge respect paid from the Geelong Footy Club here. And admiring Chris Scott of just how good he has been.
It's a funny tradition to chair off the ground, isn't it? Is there any other sport that does it? Is it an Australian rules thing? They don't chair baseballers off or anything like that, do you? I love it, by the way, but where did it start, Bristol?
I'm not sure. I think it's an indigenous thing to Australia.
Yeah.
I can't remember LeBron James or anyone being chaired off, or Pelé, or Maradona. This is going to be good for Geelong fans, because you are consolidating your spot on the top end of the ladder, second position, and looking really good for a top 2 finish, and almost certainly a top 4 finish. It really is the most sung song in footy in the modern era.